So the cost budget involves your operating resources required. So what are the operating resources you need? You need labor, you need equipments, you need what else? Raw material, correct? You need processing services. So that all the things, whatever you need to provide the services to your customers, that becomes your operating resources. So basically you need to identify in your operations what are the key operating resources that you are using in the business, and then you make a list of it. For example, a recipe. Just take an example of any noodle shop you want to open. Let's say you want to open a noodle shop. So how will you start the business? How will you start the development for that?
Run a shop or?
Yeah, means you need to have a place, correct? You need to have somebody to cook. You need to have raw materials. So how will you decide what kind of raw material you need?
Develop a menu first.
Yeah, you need to develop a menu first.
Decide on,
So means you are developing the products first, and then you develop what? Recipe.
the purchasing procurement.
Recipe firstly. Before you once you develop your menu, then you need to develop a recipe. How that particular thing will be made, and that recipe will depend on what? The customer taste. If you need more spicy, then you need to buy spices, right? If your customer don't need spicy, then you don't need the spices anymore. So recipe also is important. Once you make your recipe, then you will know what do I need. Do I need a blender? Do I need a mixer? Do I need something to mash? Do I need a cooking station? Do I need, or I can buy ready-made and just assemble here. So there are two different ways of doing the business, right? You can either buy ready-made things from outside and sell it off, or you can do it by yourself. You can buy every equipment by yourself, hire the chef by yourself, and cook it and sell it. Correct? So what the profitability in both scenarios will be same or different? Different, right? Because if you buy from outside and you do it by yourself, it will be different price. Correct? It will not be the same price, and you need different resources for that. So then you need to understand what is your business model, how your business is actually working. So that is why the cost budget or the revenue budget is not done by finance peoples. Actually, finance peoples are just combining the data. It's actually need to be done by operational peoples, because they understand the business. Finance guy has no idea how you are doing the business. They just know the numbers only, right? So if let's say you give me the profit and loss statement. If I want to do the business from profit and loss statement, I can't do the budget, because I have no, in the profit and loss statement there is no money details. You need to understand the business in deep details first. Then only you will be able to do the budget. Correct? And then you need to have assumptions. What kind of business we are going to do? What kind of changes we are going to do? Are you going to change the recipe? Are you going to change the new equipments? How it will affect your business? Correct? And then the capital expenditure plan. What kind of new equipments you gonna buy? How it will affect your business? How it will affect the productivity of your business? Correct? Then the cost management and unlocking efficiencies. So what is the cost management processes or initiatives you're going to do in the business?
Record the cost first.
No, record the cost first is yes. That is the first class, how to record the cost. But once you record the cost and you know your costs are expensive, because you take it or you accept it or not, every year your cost will increase. Correct? You have to pay higher salary to every year to the staff, otherwise staff will leave. Correct? But can you increase the price every year? Depends, right? Very difficult, because customers don't want to pay. It's everybody's story. As a consumer, you don't want to pay a higher price for anything, but you want a higher salary for sure, right? You want a higher profit for sure. So how will you do that? How will the business survive when the same revenue is there, but the cost continue to increase every year?
You have to increase the revenue, or you have to
So basically, if you can charge the price, higher price, it's okay. But if you are not able to charge a higher price because it's a competition or because there is a government ceiling or whatever is the reason, you have to do the cost reduction. So every year when we do the budget, we plan what costs are continue to increase. What is the latest example of cost increase in government, forced by government? You paid it on an everyday basis, right? Electricity, your electricity bills has gone up
Yes.
by how much?
40%.
30 to 40%. It depends on your actual size of your house. The bills has gone as much as from 20% to 50%. My house bill has gone me almost 50% higher, 60% higher. So how will you manage it? How will you reduce? How will you survive in the business? Don't use AC, right? Don't use aircon.
So
So you need to think out of the box how you are going to manage your cost. You can either, you have many choices. You switch off the bulbs, stay in dark. You cut off the electricity or cut off the aircon. Use the hand fans, or you use solar. Everyone to use everything. Use solar energy. Use wind energy. You can change halogen bulb or the old-fashioned bulb with the LED lights or low voltage lights, or you can close the house, go outside. You have many choices, right? You have different choices of reducing the cost. But that's why you need to do every year, what is your business going to be? What kind of expenses are going to increase every year? Every year cost of labor will increase. Can you continue to survive with the same number of people? If the cost of salaries will increase, the cost of your employees will increase. So either you need to reduce the staff, or you improve their productivity. If they were producing 8 units a day, then you ask them, okay, do 9 now, not 10, if not 8, because the unit cost of your production is continue to increase. Correct? Raw material will increase. If you are importing goods, your export duties, your import duties will continue to increase. You get new tax every day on the wine, on the tobacco, right? So the cost of operating your business will continue to rise. So you need to think every year what I'm going to do with my cost. What kind of activities I can do to control the cost. So improve the efficiencies in your business or reduce the waste. You always do wasteful activities, am I right? Correct? What are the wasteful activities? Which does not produce anything. You think from the morning when you wake up until now, how many wasteful hours you have consumed? Wasteful hours, which are not producing anything.
Scrolling the internet.
Yeah. So going to toilet, washroom is not an unproductive activity. You need to do that to keep your body alive. Correct? You need to eat because you need that. This is an operating activity. Okay. But yes, internet scrolling. Okay, go to the Facebook and then waste maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That is a wasteful activity, right? You are not getting any productivity from that.
It depends. If you have views.
Correct. It depends on what do you do and what is the objective of your life. Correct. So if let's say your objective is only to get entertainment, then Facebook is a productive activity. Then reading and other thing is not really productive. Correct. So if you are doing business, let's say, and business needs money, so what are the activities that we are doing which are not productive? Maybe we are, let's say, if you think from the business perspective, we are dealing with customer complaints all the time, correct? For example, a customer service business. For them, customer service complaints is something very productive. So how they will make it efficient? They want to cut on the customer complaints, right? So you may want to automate the customer complaints process. You may want to do the FAQs. You want to do some self-help. You may want to, if you go to some of the websites, they don't let you talk to the call center immediately. Right? They are using artificial intelligence, or they are using the machine learning statements. You type any complaint, they will say, okay, these are the related posts. You can read first. Do your own help. Don't talk to the customer first. If you have any question, we will give you the blocks. Okay, these are the written answer for your possible answers for your questions. If you still are not satisfied with them, then they will allow you to talk to the customer complaint, because the call center peoples who they hire for handling the call are expensive, and their time is limited. You all have 24 hours and you're gonna spend 10 hours and most of the time when you complain, you have to explain the things to the staff, right? Sometimes they don't understand, or sometimes you realize after talking to the customer staff 30 minutes, oh actually I was stupid, I didn't do that. So the companies want to educate the customers to do the self-help. So here is again we are doing the same thing, cost management and unlocking the efficiency. So we want to make our business as efficient as possible, not by cutting the cost. It doesn't mean we just cut the cost only. Like for example, what